you recall what I'm in reference to.
I'm very aware of what you're in reference to.
But that would be in Lyon County that they're addressing that?
Started in or not.
May I say something?
Yes, sir.
Based on the previous, the final, the confession that I made, I was under the influence.
Court is now in session in Greenwood County, Kansas, and the first case already sounds unusual. A DUI defendant says he missed court because a terrifying accident nearly cost him his hand, but the judge still needs answers. Stay tuned as multiple defendants face serious questions today. Subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns.
We are on the record in GW 2025 CR 202, excuse me. Let me try that again. It's case number 2025 CR 202, State of Kansas versus Christopher Tuttle. County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state, and Mr. Tuttle in person, in custody, and pro se. Mr. Tuttle, you were originally charged with DUI, allegedly driving November 22nd of 25 under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or a combination thereof. You had worked your way to a hearing December 16th of 2025 that the court had been told was for plea and sentencing on this DUI and related charges. But you're needing an alcohol and drug evaluation. Did you ever get that evaluation?
No, Your Honor. The week before my court date, I had an accident with a log splitter and cut half of my hand off. I went to the hospital. When I got put in a bed, I called my attorney and told him the situation, and I needed to move the court date. I spent a month in the hospital and 3 weeks in bed repairing my hand.
Well, what I'm inclined to do, Miss Gillette, are you and Attorney Cooper still in negotiations for that plea and sentence? Is that still on the table if he gets that evaluation?
Judge, it was Mr. Paul at the time. Mr. Cooper was appointed, and the defendant had been arrested, or sorry, it was moved over to 2/4/26 for the plea. And Mr. Cooper was here and the defendant was not in February. So that's where we got the warrant from. So this is his first appearance since that time, and he had a new attorney appointed since the plea negotiation.
Right. Well, I'm just wondering whether I need to make him get that evaluation while he's in jail to make sure it happens. But if you don't still have a plea agreement working, I don't know that that'd be appropriate. So you haven't met with Mr. Cooper, your new attorney, Mr. Tuttle?
No, ma'am.
I did make sure Mr. Cooper was up to date on what everything was going on and sent him a lengthy email about where we are to date back February 24th, so he would know.
Well, Mr. Tuttle, I don't know if the evaluation is something that you can get on your own outside of court, or if you want me to just have them come into the jail and evaluate you. Would you like that?
I can get it on my own.
Well, you haven't, and it's been a while.
Well, like I said, I had an accident and
Are you over the accident now?
Yes, ma'am.
And that accident kept you from going in and answering questions on a drug and alcohol evaluation?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Your new attorney is Blake Cooper. You need to call him as soon as you get out of here. And I'm going to set your hearing over for Missy. When's the next available? I want him as soon as possible.
We can try for March 17th at 3:30.
Now that's over a month away, and I don't know if I can trust Mr. Tuttle to be back here.
It's 2 weeks from today.
Really? What'd you say, Missy? What day?
March 17th.
Oh, March 17th, and we're at March 3rd. Okay. Time is just flying by. All right. Well, I still don't know if I can trust you to be back here in 2 weeks. Where are you living these days, Mr. Tuttle?
At the same address in Wichita, 2544 North Coolidge.
Why didn't you come to court?
I was in the hospital. I called my attorney at the time and explained the
He asked for a
situation.
continuance, he did. Well, all right, I'm gonna set this over to March 17th. At what time, Missy? 3:30, 1:30?
3:30.
You must be back here in 2 weeks at 3:30, March 17th at 3:30. I want you live in person at the courthouse. I'm ordering that you call your attorney, Blake Cooper. Deputy, do you have Mr. Cooper's number there for him to give to him?
She said
I'll give it.
yes.
She said yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You get his number, you call him, and if this plea agreement is going to go through, you need to get that evaluation.
I understand.
Is financing going to be a problem for you? Do you
A
have
little bit.
insurance and money to get it?
Say that again.
Do you have insurance or cash to pay for that evaluation?
I don't have insurance, but I'll figure out a way to get the cash.
Well, again, I could have someone come in and evaluate you at the jail in order that you pay for them as court costs, and they would probably do that without making you put the money up front. You want to do that?
I can pay for it. I'm
All right.
employed.
All right. I'm going to put that you're paying for your own evaluation. You're going to call your attorney, and you're going to be back here March 17th at 3:30. And what did we set his bond at when he failed to appear? Was it it was a no bond
No
hold?
bond hold.
You want to be heard on that, Miss Gillette?
Um, I think I'd ask for 2,000 cash or professional surety.
All right. You're working. You've got the money to pay for that, sir?
Not at this time, but I will figure out a way.
Well, you told me you could pay for your evaluation, but you can't pay for your bond. All right. Well, that's your bond. 2,000 cash or professional surety. You must be back here March 17th through 30, and you must contact your attorney, Blake Cooper. All right. That being said, you may go back to the custody of the sheriff. You're remanded to them for the time being until you make that bond.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Tuttle.
Will I get a copy of that?
Who is the gentleman in the plaid t-shirt or the plaid button-down shirt up there in the white? In the back?
Scott Owen.
Scott Owen. We'll be on the record now in GW 2026 TR 94, State of Kansas versus Scott Owen, County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state. And that Mr. Owen appears in person and pro se. Mr. Owen, you're here on count one, left of lane violation. I think that's basically they're saying you kind of lingered your vehicle over there in the left lane for too long instead of either passing or getting back over to the right. This is a traffic infraction. It does not carry jail time. It does have a $75 fine. On count two, you're charged with driving without proof of insurance. If you have no prior convictions for that charge within the last 3 years, you're looking at a Class B misdemeanor. The penalties are up to 6 months in jail, and there's a mandatory fine of at least $300 up to $1,000. Count three, you're charged with driving in circumvention of an ignition interlock device. That's a Class A misdemeanor. The penalty could be up to 12 months in jail and $2,500 in fines. You do have the right to an attorney. Are you going to hire or apply for court appointed or represent yourself?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to get my own attorney.
You're going to hire your own. We'll make a note of that. So make sure you have that attorney ready to go at your next court date. Missy, when is that?
March 27th at 9:00.
All right, thank you. You must be back here March 27th with that attorney ready to go March 27th at 9 a.m. That will be by Zoom. You need to report to the Greenwood County Sheriff to get your picture and prints taken because Kansas law requires me to order that. on A and B misdemeanors, and you have one of each. Let's see. Where do you live? What town?
Anthony, Kansas.
Okay, that's a little bit of a drive, but you're gonna have to find a way to get and time to get up here. I'll give you the sheriff's number if you want to call him. You have your
Okay.
pencil? 620-583-5569. Tell him you're there to get booked and processed. And we'll set his bond at 1,000 OR, Missy. You won't have to put that money up unless you fail to come to court.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and let's see, you're gonna hire your own, you've got your bond, you've got your court date. Any questions I can answer for you?
How much did you say that bond was, Judge?
1,000 OR.
Thank you.
On the insurance card, it was in the visor, and I looked in the glove box. I didn't know, so I guess I did have it on me. I just
All right,
didn't.
well,
It was my mom's vehicle, so I didn't know where it was.
okay, get that to your attorney. He can get it, he or she can get it to the county attorney, and they'll dismiss that charge most likely, but don't poke around doing that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Now the courtroom shifts to another defendant, Scott Owen, facing traffic and insurance charges. While one violation seems minor, the ignition interlock circumvention charge could carry real consequences. The judge carefully explains each penalty. Do you think hiring a lawyer will change the outcome for Owen in this case?
You can go today. All right, now, I saw someone in the jail. What's your name, sir?
Me,
Yes, what's your name?
Tyler Short.
All right, we'll take your case up now. We're on the record in GW 2025 CR 32, State of Kansas versus Tyler Brooks Short,
Yes.
County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state, and you're Mr. Short.
Yes.
Sir, you're charged in count one with what's called lewd and lascivious behavior that on or about March 1st, 2026 in Greenwood County, you did then and there unlawfully, intentionally, and publicly and knowingly publicly expose a sex organ in the presence of a person who is not the spouse of yourself
Yes.
and who did not consent thereto, with the intent to arouse or gratify sexual desires of yourself or another, and committed in the presence of a person 16 or more years of age. This is called a Class B non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, your sentence could be up to, but no more than 6 months in the county jail where you are now. Your fine could be up to $1,000. In count two, you're charged with criminal damage to property. The state is alleging in this count that on that same day in Greenwood County, you did unlawfully and knowingly damage, destroy, deface, or substantially impair the use of property, to wit, television, PlayStation 4, and glass light fixture cover with the intent to defraud. Is that the language you meant to have there, Ms. Gillette? With the intent to defraud on criminal damage? I think that might be a typographical error, but that the value of the damage was between $1,000 and $2,500, and it was done without the consent of the owner, to wit, Daniel Stewart.
Yes.
If convicted of criminal damage to property, a level 9 non-person felony as this is charged, you could get 5 to 17 months, not in the county jail, but in the state prison system, and you could pay a fine up to $100,000. Those are the two charges I see against you, Mr. Short. You do have the right, because of the felony, to a preliminary hearing. Are you going to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed, Mr. Short?
I'm gonna need an attorney. I was under the influence of drugs.
All right, well, the
And-
attorney would tell you don't say any more right now. Let's find out if you qualify. Do you mean you're gonna apply for court appointed?
Whatever I need, because
Well,
Yeah.
if you have the financial ability, you can go out and hire any attorney you want.
is my
If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can apply for court appointed. We have a very good list of attorneys on our appointment list. Now, you do have to qualify, so I'll have to ask you some financial questions. Are you wanting to apply?
yes. I I would like to have an attorney.
Very well. Let's see if you qualify for court appointed. Are you employed at this time?
Yes,
Where do you work?
Dollar General.
All right. And what do you get paid per month at Dollar General?
Maybe about close to 600 to 800 a month.
Okay. And are you married or single?
Single.
Do you have any minor children you legally support?
Yes, my daughter and my son.
2 children plus yourself, and you said you're single, so that's a family of 3.
Yeah.
Do you pay rent or a mortgage payment on top of that?
Yes, rent.
How much is your rent?
Our rent is $400 a month, decided by the landlord and us per our agreement.
All right. Then do you pay utilities in addition to rent?
Yes.
How much are they?
Water anywhere from $140 a month. Gas around the same. We split the bills
Electricity?
between me and Daniel. May I ask a question?
Yes.
Daniel, the person that I affected, is he pressing any charges?
All right. You really probably shouldn't be saying anything about what you're charged with right now. Okay. I'm going to find that you do qualify for an attorney, and I'm going to appoint Missy. Are we appointing Mr.? Well, we don't know probably yet, do we?
It's a felony case, so I need to find out who will take it.
Okay, Missy's going to talk to the attorneys on the list and find out who's going to take your case, and we'll know later this week who you're going to have for your attorney. Don't be saying any more about your case or the people involved in it until you talk to that attorney.
Okay.
As soon as Missy knows who it is, she'll let the jail know, and they're really good about letting you call your attorney. So, Missy, when does he come back for preliminary hearing control?
March 27th at 1:30.
Okay, that's your next court date, March 27th at 1:30. That can be by Zoom, or you can come to the courthouse and they can help you with the Zoom if you need it. But March 27th at 1:30 is your court date. We're going to get your attorney, and now you need to talk about bond a little bit. What's his scheduled bond, deputy? If you have it. Missy, do you have his scheduled bond there?
Let me find it real quick here.
That is about 75.
12,500.
12,500. I didn't do that right. All right, 12,500. Now, what do you live in Eureka, sir?
No, I live in Madison.
You live in Madison, and you said you share the rent with someone. Who do you share your rent with?
Daniel, the other person.
Daniel. How old is Daniel?
I believe he's 23.
Okay, 23. All right. And where do you work?
Dollar General.
Oh, you said that. Is that the one in Madison?
Yes.
Okay. And does Daniel work there too?
No, he works at Casey's.
Okay. But you're trying to figure out if you can go back to where you were. Is that what you're trying to figure out there with your questioning a while ago?
Yeah, I'm trying to get back. I know what I did was wrong,
Okay.
but
Again, you need to stop talking about what happened, but you're trying to get back to where you were living?
yes.
All right. Miss Gillette, do you know if he can, well, what are your thoughts on bond? I know we normally say no contact if there's a specific person identified. What's your thoughts?
Well, Mr. Stewart is his victim and also a witness, and I have not heard from him as to whether or not he would desire contact.
Can I call him?
There are multiple other witnesses, so we'll need to have
That'd be my mother.
Sir, please stop just a moment. Go ahead.
We'll have contact with the other witnesses. The only 2 witnesses, well, besides the officers, The other witnesses that I don't care if he has contact with his mom and dad.
Okay, that's Tamara and Kenneth.
Yes, but his minor children and Mr. Stewart, I'll have to hear from the other parties within the case as to whether or not they desire any kind of contact.
Well, based on what I read in the affidavit, I would say he shouldn't be having contact with anyone under 18, if you recall what I'm in reference to.
I'm very aware of what you're in reference to.
But that would be in Lyon County that they're addressing that.
There's been a referral made to Lyon County for further charges, and I don't know if they've started an or not.
May
Yeah,
I
don't
say
say any-
something?
Yes, sir.
Based on the previous, the final, the confession that I made, I was under the influence of some serious drugs, and I made a confession to something that they had convinced me that I did, and I didn't.
Ah,
This moment becomes intense as Tyler Short continues talking despite repeated warnings from the judge. In court, volunteering statements can be extremely risky, especially when serious charges like felony property damage are involved. The judge clearly recognizes the danger and tries to stop him before he unintentionally hurts his own defense.
okay.
I know that I
Well,
said,
all right. That's for you and your attorney and for another day. And I'm not going to tell you again to quit stalking. If you insist on keep talking voluntarily, I'm going to let you go if you can keep doing it, because I've warned you more than enough times about the consequences. So if you want to keep talking, you know it can be used against you. I'm going to let you do it if you keep it up. But I would suggest you wait and talk to your attorney. I hear what you're saying, though. It sounds like you're getting some kind of legal advice, whether it's from inmates in the jail or where you're coming up with this. But I hear where you're going. You're going to say that that was a coerced conversion or confession with alcohol influence. But we'll take that up at another date and another time after you've had real legal advice. Be careful taking legal advice from other inmates or wherever you're getting that. I hope the deputies aren't giving you legal advice. They know better than that.
no, it's
All right. So, Ms. Gillette, you said what did you say you recommended on bond, or did I give you an opportunity?
Your Honor, I, based on our charges, this does not include anything that's been referred out. Based on our charges, I am requesting 5,000 cash or professional surety.
Okay. And no contact with victims is normal?
The victims and the witness children.
Okay. All right.
I'm not asking
So,
restraint.
yes.
I'm not asking for no contact with his parents. They are witnesses, but I think he
Right.
contact with them if they want contact.
Okay. So I think if you take out the officers and the parents, that just leaves LH and CH. Is that right?
And Mr. Stewart.
I don't see him endorsed on here, is he?
Yeah, I've already made a note to have him endorsed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got left off the witness list.
All right. So if you don't want to sit in jail, you're going to have to make your bond of 5,000 cash or surety. I'm going to honor the recommendation of the county attorney. You're local and that you're in Madison. You live and work there. I don't know what you're going to do about Mr. Stewart, because you guys, I'm going to have a no contact condition. You're to have no contact with these witnesses, LH and CH. And at this time, I'm going to say no contact with minors, that is anyone under 18. You're to have no pornography of any kind, sir. None. I hope I don't have to elaborate on that. I hope you know
no,
exactly.
I know. I repented of everything that
All
I've
right,
done.
sir. Okay, well, I'm just telling you, you can't, if you want to stay on bond, no contact with minors, any of those witnesses, and no pornography. And be back here on the date I told you, or the date Missy told us, March 27th at 1:30, and contact your attorney, whoever that is. You need to call back here to Missy to find out who that's going to be later this week, like maybe Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Friday. Call back Friday. All right, Mr. Short, anything else before I let you go back to the jail?
Um, I mean, I just wish I didn't do drugs, and I wish I hadn't been addicted to
Alright.
pornography.
All right, well, you may go at this time, sir. Back to the custody of the sheriff. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too, as well as you can.
Um,
Who is the gentleman at the county courthouse with the beard and the brown sweater?
My name's Jonathan Irving.
Jonathan
Irving.
Irving? All right, we are on the record in 25 TR 639, State of Kansas versus Jonathan I. Irving, County Attorney Jill Gillette appearing for the state, Mr. Irving appearing in person and pro se. Mr. Irving, you are here on one count of driving without proof of insurance on December 24th of 2025. If you were to be convicted of this, your penalty could be no more than 6 months in jail. Your fine would have to be at least $300, but no more than $1,000. Because this is a B misdemeanor, you do have the right to an attorney. You can hire an attorney. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can apply for court appointed and see if you qualify, or you can waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself. How do you wish to proceed, sir, on an attorney?
Appointed,
All right. Do you work, sir? Have a job?
not at the moment,
How long have you been unemployed?
about 3 weeks now.
Where did you work before you were unemployed?
The Kansas Star Casino in Mulvane.
Okay. And do you have any jobs lined up?
I have a job interview tomorrow.
And where are you interviewing?
Brahms and Independence.
Okay. But you have no income at all now, and you haven't for 3 weeks?
That is correct.
Do you have any unemployment insurance or benefits?
No.
Are you married or single?
Single.
All right. I'm going to find that you qualify for court appointed, and I'm going to appoint attorney. Is it Mr. Cooper, Missy?
Yes.
And do they have their cards down there in the lobby?
I don't know if they do. I think I have some up here.
Okay. Well, do you have a pencil, Mr. Irving, to take your attorney's name and number?
Um,
Always bring a pencil and paper to court. You'll need it. Always, always.
Yeah.
And the rest of you listening. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. It is Blake, Blake, Cooper, Cooper. And Missy, I don't have his number down yet. Could you give that to us?
316-833-1154.
Okay.
All right. Again, that's Blake Cooper. That's your attorney. He's out of Andover. But call him. And then when's the court date, Missy?
April 10th at 10 a.m.
You'll need to be back here with Mr. Cooper. You said April what?
10th at 10 a.m.
That's what I thought you said, but I doubted myself. April 10th at 10 a.m. You'll need to be back here, and you can do that by Zoom.
Mr. Irving, were you already down here and got a diversion application? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already started an application for diversion.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and fill that out if you want. You can even leave that today if you like. But let Mr. Cooper know you started that.
Okay.
Any questions before I let you go, Mr. Irving?
Nope.
All right. You may go, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. You do need to go over. You haven't had your picture and prints taken yet, have you?
No.
All right, you'll need to go around to the sheriff's side and get that done. I'm gonna give you $1,000 OR bond. You won't put that money up today, but you'll lose it. You'll get a judgment if you fail to come to court, and you'll probably get a warrant for your arrest. So go over and get your picture and prints taken if you don't want to have the sheriff come pick you up and bring you in to do it.
Okay.
And Missy will let them know that your bond is $1,000 OR. Do that as soon as you leave the court. The officer can tell you how to get to the court, to the sheriff's office. That officer out front. All right. Thank you, sir. You may go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, do we have someone back in the jail that we need to take up? Or are we through with the jail?
We're done with the jail.
Okay, so we need to take up.
We have Garrett Bajork and a Mr. Cloud. And we
Is
have
there a Becker? Becker, Bradley Becker? Will be on the record in 2026 TR58, State of Kansas versus Bradley Becker. County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state. Defendant Becker fails to appear. He was given a uniform notice to appear in complaint. It looks like that was given to him personally March 3rd. That he was given that personally and was told to be here March 3rd, 2026 at 1:30. It is now March 3rd at 2:03, so I'm finding he fails to appear. Recommendations, Ms. Gillette, on this Class B misdemeanor, no insurance.
I'd ask for a bench warrant with a bond of $500 cash or surety.
The court will issue a bench warrant and bond will be set at $500 cash or surety required. And Mr. Becker.
Now the focus shifts to Garrett Bjork, whose probation may be revoked after failing to report and ignoring multiple attempts by probation officers to reach him. Judges take probation violations seriously. Even if someone is trying to rebuild their life, failing to communicate with probation can quickly place them back in court.
We'll now take up case number 2023 CR 173 on the record in State of Kansas versus Garrett Bjork. Sir, you need to start your audio and video.
Yes.
Garrett.
Yes, Your Honor. Let's see, there we go.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. All right, County Attorney Jill Gillette for State. Defendant Mr. Bjork appears in person and pro se. Sir, you're here on a motion to revoke reporting probation. The state is alleging that you have failed to pay your court costs and fees as ordered, having a balance of $1,763, having made no payments. That they're also alleging you violated your probation by failing to report as ordered. The court ordered you to go immediately to or call immediately probation following sentencing on September 10th of 2024. And the probation officer is saying that you never made contact then or since. Apparently you've never reported according to the motion. Count 3 alleges you failed to complete a special condition, which was to obtain an alcohol and drug counseling or follow its treatment and recommendations. And then finally, they're saying that with you having been placed on probation 9/10 of 24 for 12 months, the officer attempted to send you 2 letters to the address they had on file for you. It didn't come back from the post office. They did attempt 2 different email addresses for you that they had. No response. And the officer also reached out to your attorney. The attorney had 2 phone numbers. They were attempted by probation. And the probation officer got the information from the phone that said, subscriber you have dialed is not in service. They did have the number, a voicemail was left on, but you never returned the call, they say. The officer has not had any success in locating or getting in contact with you since September 10th of 2024. And So they're asking that your probation be revoked. Now, you have the right to a hearing. You have the right to an attorney. You want to reapply for an attorney, or are you going to hire an attorney or represent yourself?
I'd like to apply for attorney.
All right. Are you employed at this time, Mr. Bajork?
I just started an employment, yes.
And where do you work?
It's called the Etc. It's a breakfast restaurant.
Okay. And what do you make per month?
I just started about a week ago, so I'm still figuring that out. I mean, I make $10 an hour, and I probably work about 28 to 30 hours a week.
Okay, so it's not full time.
No, not yet. I'm looking for other employment as well. I'm getting ready to start an outpatient treatment, within probably the next couple of weeks as well.
You won't be able to work during treatment.
I'm going to do it so I can take either do treatment at nighttime or, that way so I can still work during treatment.
All right. Are you married or single?
Single.
Do you have any minor children that you legally support?
No.
And do you pay rent or a mortgage?
I do.
How much do you pay per month for rent?
I just moved into $500.
Do you have any utilities on top of that you pay?
I will. I'm not sure what the amounts are going to be yet, but I've gas and electric.
Okay. Any other money that you owe?
No, I mean, other than paying a cell phone bill, but that's it. I mean, that should be about it.
Do you have any money in savings or available to pay down on an attorney's services, like a retainer?
I don't right now because I was actually in Sedgwick County for 2 months, and so I have been released at the beginning of February, and so that was where I was working on finding a place to live. I was homeless before that. I'd lost my job before and became homeless. So now I'm kind of working on getting back on my feet.
Well, it looks like you had a felony, but it was pled down to a misdemeanor, if I'm reading this right. So, Missy, since you pled to a misdemeanor, can I appoint Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to appoint Attorney Blake Cooper, and Missy's going to give you his number. Can you write that down?
Yep. Let me get my notes really quick for that, and I will do that. Let's see. Sorry, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
316
Mm-hmm.
833 1154.
316-833-1154.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And you said his name was Blake Cooper?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
And then when will they come back?
April 10th. Wait, not April 7th at 3:30.
You can appear by Zoom, but you have to be back here April 7th at 3:30 with
Okay.
Mr. Cooper. And make
April
sure that
7th
you
at
contact him
3:30.
as soon as you can so he can give you any advice that he can or get whatever he needs from you.
I will contact him right when I'm done with you, Your Honor.
Sounds like a good idea. Anything else we need to address, Ms. Gillette?
Not at this time.
Do we? Okay, you may go, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now I'm looking for Johnny McLeod.
Got it right here.
Aaron Hollick and Jody McLeod.
What is it? Hold on 1 second.
I'm looking for Johnny McLeod.
I'm him. I got some
Okay.
other people over here know how to work a phone. I don't know how to work it. So
All right. Well, we are on the record now in GW 2026 TR 39, State of Kansas versus Johnny Robert McLeod. County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state. Defendant Mr. McLeod appears in person and pro se. Mr. Cloud, you're here on one count of driving without proof of liability insurance. This is a B misdemeanor. If convicted, you'd have to pay a fine of at least $300, but no more than $1,000. You could get a jail sentence up to 6 months. You do have the right to an attorney. Are you going to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed or represent yourself?
No, ma'am. I'd like to explain the situation to you.
Well, we're not going to do that today. We can do that at
Okay.
a trial.
Well, I got
Tell
proof
your-
of insurance. Will that work?
If you get proof of insurance to
Okay,
the
it's right
county
here.
attorney,
It's
all
on the
right.
phone. It's on telephone. See, it was a repo car that was being repoed, and I had a repo order, and I got stopped, and there
All right,
wasn't no
well, we're not going
insurance
to
in
go
the car.
into the trial of the case right
Okay.
now, sir.
Go
I
ahead,
will
Joe.
give you a trial date. Missy, why don't
We
you
gotta
give
go
me a
back.
trial, a status date for him?
Ain't no way we can take care of it now.
No, this is just a.
No, I'm going to give you a court
Remember.
date, Missy. When will it be?
We can set it March 27th at 9. Oh, did you want a trial or?
Oh, I said that,
Well,
but
I don't know. I've got to have
March
open
20,
heart
sir,
surgery, and I don't know
please,
when.
sir, please listen.
Okay.
Okay, you have to be back here March 27 at 9 a.m. unless you get proof that you had insurance at the time you were stopped to the county attorney.
I don't know
Mr.
how to
Love,
get in touch with
do you want him
county.
to call your office and get the address, or do you want him to mail that? What do you want him to do?
Judge, they can email it in.
All right. Do you know how to email? Can you email, sir?
Yes.
I don't know how to.
Go ahead. I can email the proof of
Lady
insurance
with you
for this.
does? Okay. Miss Gillette, can you give them the email you want them to send it to?
County Attorney GW@hotmail.com.
All right.
County attorney, what, ma'am? I'm sorry.
GW for Greenwood.
GW.
Mhm.
Yeah, GW, County Attorney, GW, that's all one word.
Okay.
And then did you say at hotmail.com?
Mhm.
All right. Take that, send that to the county attorney. Make sure you put your contact, probably, well, they'll get that. Just make sure you send that to them. And if
Okay.
you want, if they get it and they confirm that it was valid at the time of the stop, they will most likely dismiss the ticket. But unless you hear it from someone in that office that it's being dismissed, you must be here March 27 at 9 a.m. And you live in Tennessee, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, I'm supposed to have you get your picture and prints taken. I'll bet they didn't have you do that, did they?
We got everything. It was a company car, and I was repoing it.
I understand.
No, so much the officer.
No, they didn't do none of that. She was
No, I'm
very
not going to
new.
deal with it right now. You just get your proof to the county attorney and we'll see what happens.
She was a brand new young lady. I could tell that. She wasn't 20 years old, I don't think.
Who?
The lady that stopped me.
He
Oh,
got
the officer?
Yes, the officer.
Scott.
Huh? I couldn't hear what she said.
He got
Which officer? Which officer was it?
Trooper Scott.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'd like to know her
Mr.
when I was a little
Holly.
bit younger.
Well, why don't you, I'll let you go now so you can focus on getting that proof to the county attorney.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Now then that brings us to, we tried, we did Scott Owen, right? So does that cover everybody? But Missy, who do we have left?
That's
You know
it.
what you taught
I
me?
think that's
That's it. All right.
Okay.
Mr. Hollick, you may hang up now, and I believe that concludes this.
Today's hearing showed just how unpredictable court can be, from DUI explanations and probation violations to serious criminal allegations and missed court appearances. Each defendant left with strict instructions and upcoming court dates. If you enjoy real courtroom breakdowns like this, like the video, share it, and subscribe for more.